Are you a speaker, author, course creator, consultant? Do you like to speak? Are you having a little bit of trouble booking more business? Well, this event is for you. In just a few moments, I'm going to be welcoming on Lois Creamer. She is not only a longtime speaker and an author, she's been featured in Forbes, Inc. magazine, Bloomberg Business, Wall Street Journal. She knows what she's talking about. And she's going to join us. And later in the month, October 19th, the NSA is having a special masterclass where Lois will come in and conduct a 4-hour class on how to book more business. That is something that we can all use a little help with. Welcome, Lois, to the show.
Thanks, Pat. Great to be here.
So this is exciting because we need a little bit of a roadmap. Sometimes people get stuck. You know, they might be a great speaker, but they got it wrong from the beginning in terms of not having the right, I don't know, positioning statement or foundation. Tell me about where you see people going wrong.
Well, I'll tell you, I started my business working with professional speakers, consultants, and experts based on one thing. And that was really my sense that most speakers really sucked when answering the question, what do you do? Because most will answer by saying, I speak on sales, I speak on leadership, giving a vehicle that they use, and then a topic. And to me, that isn't a compelling way to try and gain someone's interest. So I came up with what I call a positioning statement, which is a concept and outcome statement of working with you that I think can open the door to have a conversation and qualify immediately up front whether you're a fit for the prospect that you're talking to. So, for example, I could say I'm a consultant in the speaking industry, which is very true. But instead of that, I say I work with speakers and consultants who want to book more business, make more money, and monetize their message.
That's a lot more specific.
It is. It really is, Pat. And I think that you'll have a more constructive conversation. I think that you'll gain more interest. I used to speak on sales to corporate sales teams. My positioning statement for that was this, and it's very simple. I work with organizations that want to fast forward their selling skills so they'll be better at what they do.
Love
and
it.
then I did something very important. I shut up and waited for them to either say, tell me more about that, or how do you do that? Or on occasion, in a networking event, you'll hear, well, how nice for you, which means we have no interest in what you do. But I think a positioning statement is a great way to begin a sales conversation.
It's a way to say what you do in a very concise way, maybe point out the problem or who you help. Is that right?
Well, for a positioning statement, if you have a target market, you could say, and I used to say, I work with organizations in the financial services field who want to fast forward their selling skills so they'll be better at what they do. For people who don't have a target or have more than one target, I say open up by just saying, I work with organizations that want to. It's the best way to appeal. So I'm not going to open up by asking them what their problems are, or even saying, I understand these are problems. I'm going to open up by giving a concept and an outcome statement about me. Then I'm going to turn the conversation over to them. I'm going to have done my homework ahead of time I should know what their challenges are. And there are ways to find that out now.
But what if you want to speak in, for example, what if you're a speaker and you could easily speak in a financial services industry or a manufacturing industry? Then
yes.
Do you have to pick one lane, or do you have to?
That's a great question. Let me tell you, I worked for a number of years for a Fortune 10 corporation in sales and marketing before I ever came to this industry. Manufacturing. I knew that when I spoke, I didn't want to speak to manufacturing. It just wasn't something I wanted to do. And early on, I got some great opportunities with banks, credit unions. And I decided not to tell them that my vast experience in that target market was that I had a checking account. I thought that might make them a little nervous, but I made it my business to learn the financial services industry. And so I read every periodical there is. I did a lot of homework. Let me just say this, whether you have one target market or a couple of target markets, it's easier now than ever to do market intelligence by using artificial intelligence. And that's one of the things I'm going to go into detail on when I speak to NSA Connecticut in a few weeks.
That's awesome. So yes, you did mention AI. So how are you using AI in addition to the research that you're doing? Are you using it to create content?
I absolutely use it to create content, and I think we all should. Um, I would just add, though, Pat, I think it's important that we consider that AI, the programs, are a tool, not an end result, not the end of your journey. I
Absolutely.
think things absolutely have to be in our voice, but I use it. I use it to help me outline blog posts. I will say, "What do you think? Give me a top 10 list on this," and then I'll look at a few and pick a few of those out and write about them. Um, it is absolutely great for content curation. For that, I typically use Chat GPT and Perplexity. Either one of those I think is good. Perplexity is very research based more than Chat GPT. So I've really been using that a little bit more lately. But there's so many to choose from. I got to know them by jumping in and playing with them, quite frankly, and finding out what they can do. But I use them with clients too to outline who they should be talking to, what those challenges in that industry is, and it just makes things so much easier to do market intelligence.
That makes sense. And which also leads into revenue streams, various revenue streams. Speakers need to have multiple revenue streams. I guess consulting, writing a book, perhaps having a course. Tell me a little bit about the types of revenue streams you're going to talk about on October 19th.
Well, I'm going to talk about all kinds of revenue streams. If there's one thing that we learned coming out of COVID, we knew this before, but it really reinforced the fact that people like to and can learn in a number of different ways. And so I tell speakers and my clients that speaking is just one of the vehicles that you use to drive your intellectual property to the market. So what are other ways we can do that? By writing books, by writing workbooks, by creating courses, by having membership groups, masterminds, all of those different things, podcasts, all of those different things feed into getting your IP out in the marketplace. And that's exactly what you want to do. I also know that in the 60s and 70s, which was before my hair might be gray, but it was before my time in this industry, people typically made a living speaking by doing that, getting on a plane, going, speaking, coming home, getting on another plane. And it's just impossible anymore. It's impossible to do that. So how can you serve your client? How can you take a next step with a client after they've already invited you on the platform? I think that is absolutely key, to leverage that know, like, and trust that you've established by being on their platform to help those companies learn in additional ways.
Absolutely. Makes a lot of sense because, as you said, it's no longer, people think, oh, you're a speaker and you fly from place to place. And some people do that. But think about all the other hours in the week. What are you really doing? Right? You're either preparing, you're preparing a course or being a guest on a podcast. And there's so many other ways that you can monetize your business. And we're looking forward to hearing about that as well. Now you wrote Book Business, Make Money Speaking When?
Look, I just
When?
so happen to have a copy right here. What a coincidence. I wrote this book in 2017. And Pat, it's a really niche book. And I remember telling people when they asked me, "You're writing a book?" I said, "Yes. And it's going to sell in the tens." And they said, "Tens of thousands?" I said, "No, the tens." And that's if my family buys it, because it's such a niche book. It's for speakers on how to monetize your expertise. And it has amazed me over the years. It's done really well. But I'll tell you what it doesn't have in it. It doesn't have Zoom. The word virtual is not in my book.
Right.
And so this new edition has about maybe 30 to 40% new content, covering things like artificial intelligence, new sales information, how to do market intelligence, licensing your videos that are out there. So it has a lot of new information on it, and I'm excited. It's going to be released very soon.
That's excellent. What's the name of the new book?
The name of the new book is Book More Business, Make More Money Speaking.
I love it.
And I didn't use AI on that title, Pat. I thought of that myself, but it really
It's
is.
very specific, which really goes along with your whole brand and
Yeah, you know, everything that I do, Pat, is preceded by the name of my company, Book More Business. For example, when doing promos for your chapter, where I'm looking forward to coming to shortly, they said, "What's the title of the speech?" And I said, "The title of the speech is Book More Business: How to Get More Bookings in a Challenging Marketplace." Every speech I do is preceded by Book More Business: Um, so it's a way to build the brand, reinforce the brand, but the name of my business is a concept and an outcome in and of itself, and it's served me well. So everything begins with Book More Business for me.
I love it. Well, we will look forward to seeing you on October 19th. Lois, thank you so much for joining me. And your masterclass is going to be chock full of information. We'll see you on October 19th.
I look forward to it. Thanks so much, Pat.
Thanks, Lois. And just a quick note, in addition to the positioning statement, Lois is going to be talking about target markets and negotiations, which we know are so important. Also, as she mentioned, the revenue streams and AI and content creation and also research. And she has a thing that she calls aftercare strategies. So if you want to learn how to book more business and get more gigs in a very competitive market, sign up for the masterclass, which is happening October 19th rather, in New Haven. And to sign up